Hello everyone, we're going to make another video, and this time it's going to be the rocket guidance deflector. I think that's what it's called. So I'm going into my learning center and my Onshape fundamentals pathway, going down to Part Studios. This is the last one in the Part Studios category, and I'm going to scroll down to the rocket guidance reflector. I was close. All right, so there's the crazy thing we're going to make. It's that kind of copper colored part there on the top. So I'm going to hit next page, and we're going to get to the first of the instructions. Now, this is one of those ones that it has a pre-made part. We're going to click on this link to open the document, Rocket Guidance System. So I'm going to click on that, and there's our reflector. Okay, it already has an appropriate sketch and everything that we need to get started. So if you notice, it says this document is view only, make a copy to edit. That's the first thing you have to do. So let's click on that button, and I'm not going to rename it, but I am going to click on owned by me. I don't think you have to do that kind of thing because your folder system isn't as complicated as mine, but there you go. Now let's go back to our instructions. So ensure the workspace is millimeter and mass is kilogram. Okay, so workspace is millimeter, mass is kilogram. I mean, length is millimeter and mass is kilogram, so we're good there. Let's see what else they want us to do. Okay, just go to the next slide. Okay, investigate the new document. The Rocket Guidance System contains two tabs. One contains a picture of the finished system, and the other is the part studio where design work is started on the reflector. This part studio already has multiple features completed. There's also a mate connector on the center of the top face and a sketch with different profiles. Okay, so next slide. Extrude the triangular cutouts. So we're going to do a remove extrude, a solid remove extrude. We're going to click the two faces. We're going to do up to face with an offset of 10 millimeters. In other words, it's going to go all the way. If we didn't click this offset, it would go all the way down to the bottom face. But the offset means we come back 10 millimeters. So it's going to make it so it goes not quite all the way down and then merge with all. So let's go back and do that. I'm going to zoom in on this and drag it to where I can see what's going on. I'm going to get extrude, remove, and I'm going to click those two faces. Okay, right now it says blind. I'm going to change that to up to face. And the face that we're talking about is the bottom of the part right there. And you notice it went all the way through. That's not what we want, but that's why we have the offset distance. So we're going to offset that by 10 millimeters. If you notice, it actually follows the contour of the bottom. That's kind of cool. All right, so there we go. Merge with all is what I believe it said. Yeah, merge with all. Everything looks good. Let's go ahead and accept that. So there's our extrude. All right, what's next? Next slide. Add fillets to the triangular cutouts. Okay, so we're going to round off those corners by applying 6 millimeter fillets to each of those vertical corners of those triangular looking things. And we're going to do the bottom contours. So if you notice, it's curved right here, it's curved over here, lots of curves. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to get the fillet. I'm going to change it to 6 millimeters and start clicking on things. So I want I'm going to do the vertical corner ones first, and you're going to have to move things around so you can see the things you're trying to click on. And there's one. And there's one. And there's one. And there's one. Now I'm going to get those bottom edges. So 1, 2, I'm going to do all the ones over here first. 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, we've got all the beautiful contours. It's nice looking, isn't it? And we're going to accept that. Okay, and I'm going to go back to my isometric view and get back that look. Okay, what's next? We're going to do a feature pattern, a circular feature pattern. This is fun. Start a new circular pattern feature. Select a feature pattern from the pattern type drop down. With focus in the features to pattern field, select the extrude and the fillet features. Okay. And so let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to do a circular pattern. Now this is the linear pattern. If I click the drop down, there's our circular pattern. And I'm going to change it from part pattern to feature pattern. The most common thing people call me over for because they can't figure it out is because they forgot to change that from part pattern to feature pattern. Now the features to pattern, we just go over here and select them, extrude and fillet. The axis of the pattern is this guy. There you go. That's why the mate was created in the first place. And if you notice, it's already defaulted to 360 degrees and 4 instances, which is exactly what we want. So let's go ahead and accept that. All right, what's next? Create an M45 clearance hole in the center of the face. Start a new hole feature, select metric and simple with the focus in the sketch points to place holds field. Select pattern axis mate connector. Mate connectors can be used in place of sketch points to place holes. With the focus in the merge scope field, select the reflector part. Select the other options as shown and accept the features. Okay, so we need to match this. So let's metric simple and click the pattern axis. Let's start with that. So the hole, there we go. We're going to make it not countable, but simple. Sketch points to place hole. We're going to do that. There you go. And it made a little baby hole, but that's not the one we want. So let's go back and see what we want. We want a clearance M45 and close. So hole type clearance. We're going to scroll down to M45 and close. And if you notice, clearance, it went all the way through. Kind of makes sense. We're going to go clear through it. Okay, but if you go down to here, it says 46 millimeters, start from part blind. So let's go back and 46 millimeters, start from part, not through all, but blind. There you go. Now you notice it still doesn't look right. You can still see a hole down there. So we got to go back and get a little bit more. We want 12 millimeters and 118 degrees for that, angle at the bottom. So that, oh my God, I already forgot what it said. 12 millimeters and 118 degrees. So it's already at 118 degrees. We're going to change it to 12 millimeters. And now we have what we're looking for. You notice the bottom face kind of looks like a drill bit. That's kind of exactly what it is. Okay. And let's make sure there's nothing else we need to do. Looks about right to me. So we're going to go ahead and accept that. All right, moving on. Next slide. Let's see. We're going to start a new sketch on the top face. Place a sketch point vertically below the origin. Add the dimension as shown, accept the sketch. Okay, so if you notice, we're trying to put this point right here, 26 millimeters above the bottom edge and vertically located relative to the origin. So let's do that. So I'm going to right click on the face, make a new sketch, and hit end to look at it properly. And I'm going to get the sketch point. I'm going to start by locating at the origin, going straight down, and I'm just going to click somewhere. Okay, now I'm going to get the dimension tool, click here, here, and make that 26. Bingo. That's what we needed to do. Anything else? Nope. Okay, so we're going to accept that and move on to the next thing. All right, create an M10 tapped hole. So again, we're going to do a hole feature, and we're going to make it match all this fun stuff over there. So let's start with the hole feature. We're going to click on that sketch point that we just made. Whoa, look at that giant thing. What's the problem? Well, it's supposed to be M10. That's much smaller. There we go. That's a little more normal. Doesn't look right because we got to make all this stuff match. So let's go and see what we got over here. We've got tapped, straight tapped M10 1.5 millimeters. Okay, tap, straight tap 1.5 millimeters. Tapped, straight tapped. Okay, all that stuff already matches. Let's go back. Fastener fit, none. We have fastener fit close. Let's make that none. Okay, what else do we need to match? So we've got 8.5 millimeters, start from part blind. 8.5 millimeters, start from part blind. That's good. Then we've got 20 millimeters, 818, and 10.02. I can only remember 3 things at a time. And I already forgot one of them. 20 millimeters, 118, 10.2. So 20 millimeters. And there we go. And 10.2, let's scroll down, see if that last 6.653 matches. It does. Okay, I think we're good. We've got our hole. Now let's go back. Okay, so now we're going to create more of those. We're going to do a linear pattern this time. Start a new linear pattern feature. Select the face pattern from the pattern type drop down. Note, face pattern is always the fastest to regenerate, so you should use it over other pattern types whenever possible. Hole callouts still work correctly in drawings when using the face pattern. The focus on faces to pattern field, select both faces of the hole. In other words, the side of the hole and the bottom of the hole. With the focus in the direction field, select the edge labeled A, so we need to know what axis to make it parallel to. And there should not be holes where the larger clearance hole is. Check skip instances with the focus in the instances to skip. Select the 2 gray dots in the center labeled B. Okay, that's a lot of stuff to remember. Let's just go back and start our linear pattern. So I'm going to have to get to the drop down again because we used the other type of pattern first. I'm going to move this a little bit like this so we can see what's going on. Okay, so we're doing a face pattern this time, and the faces to pattern are the bottom. I'm going to zoom in, select the side first and then select the bottom. And you got to get both of those. And then I'm going to click on the direction. I'm going to select that side that they mentioned. And you notice, uh-oh, it's going the wrong way. Well, that's easy enough to fix. We're going to click the opposite direction arrow, and there you go. Now we've got some other things to fix here, so let's go and see what we've got. Distance 26 millimeters and 6 instances. So 26 millimeters instead of 25. We want 6 instances. And see how it put some holes in our center. That's what we didn't want. So what we're going to do is scroll down until we see skip instances. We're going to click that, and the instances to skip are those 2 center ones. See how easy that is? And now look at what we got. Here, I'm going to drag it so we can see it a little better. Look at that. Linear pattern. Isn't that a cool thing? All right, I'm going to accept that, and let's move forward. In the next slide, we are going to create a rectangular cutout. So it's this cutout that you see right over here. Okay, sketches automatically hide when they're added to a feature for the first time. So show the feature sketch in the features list, in other words over here, and start a new extrude feature. Select the solid and remove, select only the rectangular contour, and do blind 11 millimeters. So I'm going to unhide that sketch, number 3. Whoop, wrong one. That sketch, feature sketch, that's it. Okay. Excuse me. We're going to select a remove extrude, select that rectangle over there, and it was 11 millimeters, if I'm not mistaken. Let's double check that. Yes, 11 millimeters. And there it is, a nice little hole. So we're going to accept that extrude, and now we are going to go on to the next sketch. And if you know, this time we're going to make some more fillets, 6 millimeter fillets, to all the edges shown, which is 8 different edges. Wait, that's not true. Just, we're only doing the, the vertical side edges. So let's get down in there and zoom a bit to get that where we can see what's going on. And let's select the fillet. It's already on 6 millimeters since that was what we used last. I'm going to click that vertical one. Did I do that right? Maybe not. Let's go back. No, actually, I think it's the bottom one. So that's easy to fix. Let's delete that edge. Let's try that. Oh, there we go. That was it. Okay. It's the bottom corners. And bingo, look at that cool thing. All right, let's accept it. And let's go on to our second to last slide. Now we're going to mirror this. Start a new mirror feature, select the face mirror from the mirror type dropdown, select all the faces of the cutout all the way on the bottom, 9 faces, and use the right plane as the mirror. Okay, so pro tip, click the Create Selection icon to the right of the Faces to Mirror field to start the Create Selection dialog. Select Faces and then Pocket from the drop-down. Select one of the faces of the cutout and the On Shape automatically selects all the other faces for you. Ooh, I want to try that. Okay, so let's go and do our face mirror. So there's the mirror, and we're going to make it a face mirror. And faces to mirror, this is what they're talking about, create selection. So I'm going to select, let's go back and look again. Pocket, I'm sorry. Let's go and select not protrusion, but pocket. And let's select one of the faces and see what happens. Oh, that didn't work. I think that sketch is in the way. Let's hide that sketch. Feature sketch, go away. There we go. Select one of the faces. Oh, look, it got them all. Isn't that awesome? All right, so add selection. And look, it got all of those faces for us. Now for the mirror plane, I'm going to click there, and I'm going to scroll back up, click on the right plane, and let's zoom out. And oh, look, it made it over on to the other side. There we go. Look at that. Let's accept that mirror and go on to our last slide where it actually, the reflector already has the material aluminum. Select the reflector from the parts list and click the display mass and section properties, and we're going to look at the mass. So we're going to select the reflector, go all the way to the bottom right, display mass and section properties, and I got 2.037 kilograms. I'm going to come back here, click the next page, begin self-checked, 2.037 kilograms, and we win. What's our big prize? An A. All right, cool. And you guys, that is how you make the rocket guidance reflector part. Thank you for joining me, and see you next time.